Hello students, good morning to all of you. Here today I will teach you English prose for all the sections of class 12th. Women's Education, the name of chapter by Dr. S. Radhakrishnan. I have taught you the first part of this chapter. Now today I will teach you second part of the same chapter, Women's Education. Dear students, as I taught you earlier about our ex-president Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, who was a teacher also. That's why every year we celebrate his birthday as Teachers' Day. He was a great philosopher also. Here in this chapter, he tried to tell us about women's condition as well as women's education in our society. See how he expressed his feelings on the basis of Sanskrit also. Here, as I taught you earlier, the author has referred Gita, the holy book of Hindus, Gita. In Gita, whatever we will find, Vyavasayika Buddhirayake, and another line, Bahushakaya Huntaj. So she, according to Dr. Radhakrishnan, Vidya certainly gives us Vivek. But Vivek is not sufficient. Vimars Rupani Vidya gives us a sense of anything, what is right, and also to avoid what is wrong. That is Vimars Rupani Vidya. So he quoted here two different versions of Vidya. Vidya gives us Vivek, but Vimars Rupani Vidya, whatever we think deeply on the basis of education, that gives us the real judgment, what is right and what is wrong. So see, he also tells us about the relevant needs of present generation, how we move forward on the basis of our present generation, what the demand is in our present generation. Otherwise, we cannot achieve anything successfully in our life. Third point here, he tells us the purpose. Certainly, we have to make our target purpose and we should work hard to achieve the purpose. But the purpose also just must be on the basis of present generation. Suppose if you are making any purpose and that is not here on the basis of present generation, so it is useless. Understand? So here see, every time we start, we use our hint and ends with saying Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. The teacher and the pupils are expected to avoid hating each other. See, it's equally important to understand, dear students, to all of you also, here, just we start any line And certainly we just after minutes we find this conclusion, Santi, Santi, Santi means this is the end of your chapter, close up. But this is not exactly right thing for all of us. We should go deeply, thoroughly. We should understand deeply. So we can take anything. Here the author Dr. S. Radhakrishnan says, the teacher and the pupils are expected to avoid hating each other. This is a very crucial moment for the teacher as well as the revision. The relations between the teacher and the pupils are very crucial. We must know how we maintain ourselves, how we maintain our relations, and what is the importance of teacher in our society. But sometimes we forget it. Nowadays, I am very sorry to say it, students also do not give any respect to those teachers. But they are not only responsible for it. You can also see the teacher, they are not doing their main tasks. They are not doing what they should do. That is important. So overall, we can see teacher and students or pupils just avoid hating each other. I would like to remind you just the period of Mahabharata, where you will find a pupil named Eklavya. He was a very talented pupil, although he didn't get his education physically by Guru Drona. In spite of all these, when Dronacharya demanded for his own Diksha, in the same way, Eklavya had given his own. So see, without any hesitation, at the same moment, he dedicated himself just before his teacher. But nowadays, this is just against it. I'm not going to give you just detail or deep whole in the same way, but you can see, according to Dr. Radhakrishnan, we are just expected to avoid hating each other. Compassion means daya. This is the quality which is more characteristic of women than of men. As we know, we expect such a type of quality means mercy or daya, pity, just from the women's side. And it is said that the compassion or daya, that is only the quality of a woman. But it is not so. If we can compare the word pity, daya, compassion, so we can find more in women in comparison of men. I read recently a book which speaks about the decline of womenhood and says that this is so because there is decline in compassion. According to author Dr. S. Radhakrishnan, as he read just few books and where he found that there is a decline of women, and says that this is so because there is decline in compassion. So why, if there is lack of womanhood, why it is so? Because there is certainly a single moral point because there is no compassion, there is no pity, mercy, daya in women also. That is why there is decline of womenhood. In other words, the natural quality of women is compassion. So you can see, according to the author, compassion is just the characteristics of only a women in our society. If you do not have compassion, you are not a human. Now this is not only for women. According to the author, this is equally for the men also. If you have no compassion, if you have no any pity, mercy, just you are not human being. Because this is the main characteristics of a human being. It is therefore essential for every human being to develop the quality of considerateness, kindness and compassion. These three important characteristics are very important to all the human beings. Compassion, considerateness, and the third one is considerateness. Without this quality, we are not only human animals, nor pasu, not more than that. So here, author says, if we have not such a type of qualities like considerateness, compassion, or considerateness, so we are not a human, but we are human animals. And just he explained in Hindi also, nar pasu. We are just like nar pasu. It means to say that we are just in the form of human, but we behave like animal. That is called human animal nar pasu. There is a famous verse which tells us sansara visvrikshasya. Once again you will find the Sanskrit version here in the following line. Sansara visvrikshasya. According to author Dr. Radhakrishnan, whole the world is just like a tree that is full of poison. It means to say, now here he made details. In this imperfect word, in whole the imperfect word, sansara means whole the word, sansar. There are two fruits of inimitable quality. There are two fruits and they are just opposite to each other. Both are just opposite to each other. What are those two fruits? They are the study of our great classics. Make it very clear and concentrate your mind towards it. What is the first thing here? Study of our great classics. Those great books are important. Those great epics like Ramayana, Gita, Bible, Quran, all these are very important for all of us in our society. So the first point here, the first fruit of our world is what? The study of great classics. Those classics means books. Those great religious books must be read in our society. And what is your second point here? Second point, communion with great minds. Certainly, whatever we just go through the human being, suppose our friends are just in the same way. As they behave, we also follow, we also learn. So, communion is also important for all of us. Communion to whom? Communion to the great minds, means those persons who have very great personality in our society. Those great persons are also important and we can follow, we can learn a lot of things from those human beings, those great personalities. In Hindi, you can say satsang. Communion of great mind means satsang, means the people who gives us a lot of good qualities, good things, we certainly go through, we certainly follow. These two are the things which molds men's minds and heart. Now once again see, these two great qualities are always turns the mind of human being. Communion with great minds and study of great classics. These two things always turns the mind of human being. I am anxious that our great classics should be studied. Here, Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan is little worried because nobody would like to read such a type of great classics, and nobody would like to be in a communion with great minds. So he is little worried about it. The classics of countries, all countries which we are inheritors. So we are inheritor of those great books. So we should study, we should go through the important books. It is in a small dialogue in an Upanishad that a question is put. Once again, see how author tells us here. Just he refers the Upanishad. What here in Upanishad there is a question: what constitutes the essence of good life? What is good life? What is the star of good life? Essence of good life. The teacher replies. Again, when the student asks this, the teacher, the guru replies. What is the reply? Didn't you hear the answer? What is the answer? He says, didn't you hear the answer? Certainly that time, ultimately, there is a thunderclap in the sky. Da, da, da. What is that? That is the kind of things how he explained. Triple da, D-A-D-A-D-A, da, da, da. What is the meaning of da, da, da? Immediately the answer. Teacher answered, our teacher explained. These are the essence of good life. What? Dam, Dan, Daya. Dama, Dana, Daya. So all these three things, da, 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 means essence of good life. Now once again he explained, they constitute the essence of good life. You must have Dama. Dama means what? Self-control. Dama means self-control. And again, you must have to restrain yourself, control yourself, which is the mark of human being. In the Ramayana, you can see when the Lakshman sets out for the forest, his mother tells him, what? Look upon Rama as your father Dasarath. She was also a mother. She was also the mother of Lakshman. But how she suggested her own son Lakshman, oh my dear son, look upon Ram as your father, Dasarath. It means give such a respect to Ram just as you give your father Dasarath. Look upon Sita as myself, as your mother. And Sita is just like your mother, means just like me, as she is saying here. And look upon the forest as a, yeah, go my dear. And once again she says, don't see the forest is a jungle, but you must think that the forest is like your territory, Ayodhya. So now you go my dear. Such a mother, always respectable for the whole society, for the whole in our social life. There are ever so many thrilling stories in our classics which will instill into us great moral strength, which will lay down for us the line on which we have to conduct ourselves. So these are some thrilling stories just described in our great classics, in our great books. We should study and think deeply for these lines. Now, these lines are what which we need to conduct ourselves. Give us good women, we will have a great civilization. If there are so many good women in our society, certainly we can build up a best civilization, great civilization. Give us good mothers, we will have a great nation. And if we have good mothers, certainly we can make our nation Great. That is the way how we explain it. So dear students, see, this is the second part of the chapter, and I hope all of you will explain the paragraphs with your reference to the context. Thank you.